Sarah thought she landed her dream job at Google. But the person who hired her? A North Korean spy sitting in a basement halfway around the world. This isn't some movie plot. This actually happened to thousands of Americans last year. And right now, while you're watching this video, someone just like Sarah is getting a LinkedIn message that could destroy their life. The craziest part? The FBI says this scam made North Korea over $88 million. And it all started with one innocent job application. Christina Chapman seemed like any other American trying to make ends meet. Living in Arizona, she was struggling with bills and looking for ways to earn extra money. That's when she discovered something that seemed too good to be true. People were paying her hundreds of dollars just to receive laptops at her address and ship them somewhere else. Easy money, right? Wrong. What Christina didn't know was that she had just become the face of the most sophisticated job scam in American history. A scam so advanced that it fooled some of the biggest companies in the world. We're talking about Fortune 500 companies, the kind of companies that hire the smartest people on earth. But here's where it gets really crazy. The laptops Christina was shipping weren't going to regular employees. They were going to North Korean hackers who were pretending to be American workers. These hackers had stolen real people's identities, created fake LinkedIn profiles, and were applying for remote jobs at major US companies. And they were getting hired. Imagine this. You're a hiring manager at a tech company. You post a job for a software developer. Applications start pouring in. One candidate looks perfect. Great resume, excellent interview skills, and they're asking for exactly the salary range you budgeted. You hire them immediately, but the person you just hired doesn't exist. The real person whose identity was stolen has no idea their name is being used. Meanwhile, a North Korean hacker is now sitting in Pyongyang with access to your company's internal systems, making American wages, and sending that money straight back to fund their government's weapons programs. The FBI estimates that over 300 American companies fell for this trick. Companies that you probably use every single day. Companies that handle your personal information, your banking details, your private messages. Christina Chapman's job was simple. She ran what investigators called a laptop farm. Every month, dozens of laptops would arrive at her address. Her job was to set them up and ship them to what she thought were remote workers across the country. But these weren't going to Americans. They were being shipped to addresses where North Korean operatives would pick them up. The hackers were so good at pretending to be Americans that they even showed up to video interviews. They had studied American culture, learned how to speak without accents, and could answer any question about living in the United States. Some of them had been preparing for years. But here's the twist that nobody saw coming. The FBI had been watching this operation for months. They knew exactly what Christina was doing, and they were building a case that would shock the entire country. One morning, Christina woke up to find federal agents at her door. Not just a few agents. We're talking about a full-scale raid. They seized everything. Her computers, her phones, and get this, 90 laptops that were ready to be shipped out that very day. Christina Chapman was arrested and charged with conspiracy to violate U.S. sanctions against North Korea. The woman who thought she was just running a simple shipping business was actually helping an enemy nation infiltrate American companies. But the story doesn't end there. When investigators dug deeper, they discovered something that made this case even more terrifying. The North Korean hackers weren't just stealing money. They were stealing trade secrets, customer data, and sensitive information that could be used to hurt American businesses and citizens. One company discovered that their new remote employee had downloaded their entire customer database before disappearing. Another company found out that their American developer had installed backdoors in their software that could be used to spy on users. The scale of this operation was massive. We're talking about millions of dollars flowing from American companies directly into North Korea's hands. Money that was being used to fund their missile programs and other activities that threaten global security. What makes this story even more shocking is how easy it was for these hackers to fool everyone. They didn't use some super advanced technology or complicated hacking techniques. They used something much simpler and more effective. They applied for jobs just like everyone else. The hiring managers who interviewed these fake candidates had no idea they were talking to foreign spies. The HR departments that processed their paperwork thought they were onboarding legitimate American workers. Even the IT departments that gave them access to company systems believed they were helping fellow Americans work from home. Christina Chapman's arrest sent shockwaves through the remote work industry. Companies started questioning every remote employee they had hired. Background check companies saw a massive spike in business, and job seekers began wondering how many of the jobs they're applying for are actually real. The investigation revealed that this wasn't just happening with one or two companies. This was happening everywhere. Social media companies, financial institutions, healthcare providers, government contractors. The hackers were specifically targeting companies that had access to sensitive information or large amounts of money. But here's what really keeps security experts up at night. If this scam was so successful, how many other similar operations are happening right now that we don't know about? The FBI says they're still investigating dozens of similar cases. They believe Christina Chapman was just one small part of a much larger network. There could be hundreds of other people across America who are unknowingly helping foreign hackers infiltrate U.S. companies. When Christina Chapman was sentenced, the judge didn't just give her a fine. She received federal prison time. The judge said that her actions, even if she didn't fully understand them, had threatened national security and put American citizens at risk. But the most chilling part of this entire story is what investigators found on those 90 laptops they seized. Each laptop was configured to hide the user's real location and make it appear as if they were logging in from somewhere in the United States. The hackers had thought of everything. Today, companies are scrambling to implement new security measures for remote workers. Some are requiring in-person meetings before hiring. Others are using advanced background checks that can detect fake identities. But security experts warn that the hackers are already adapting their methods. The Christina Chapman case opened America's eyes to a new kind of threat, a threat that doesn't come from missiles or bombs, but from something as simple as a job application. And the scariest part? It's still happening right now.